In this video, we are going to discuss about these tabs here in terms of formatting. And while some of these may have a lot of detailed prescriptions or functionalities that might come in, we'll look at the first basic understanding of these and then try and move ahead with our discussions. So let's start right to left. We'll start with this cell styles data point. So let me just write a test cell here, and depending on what style we choose, let me move this, do a control X and move it here, control V. And depending on what style we choose, it can automatically change the format of the cell. I can take it to a heading format. I can take it to some other format. It could be heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, depending on what the font size is. So essentially, predefined formats based on what Excel gives us, but is not in anything different from what we saw here on our toolbar on the left hand side. So we did this here, trying to put a different format on the cell. The same thing is what we are doing on using this, just that there is a certain amount of predefined formats which are available, right? So we can look at that and put these data points in. The second one is you could format the entire this portion as a table, right? So I can format this as a table, and it gives me a lot of data points with respect to a lot of styles with respect to how I can put the table in. So if I put this in, then it'll first ask what is the data, and it asks whether your table has headers. If your table has headers, then the first row is considered as headers. If I uncheck this, it will not take that as headers. If I check this, it will take that as headers and then automatically put this in. Now, obviously, because the text was in black and we chose a black cell, it created a problem, but we could have chosen something else here in terms of table design, right? So I do a control Z, I do a control Z twice. We could, for example, choose this, it'll ask this, and it'll put in the data here. You see these small arrows that are dropping down from here? These are called filters, about which we will take a look at it in more detail as we go along, right, at a separate point of time. So that's broadly with respect to formatting the data set as a table. Once again, nothing that you cannot do manually, but just that it gives you a pre-formatted sense of how a table would look like, and you could go ahead and put that in your Excel workbook. The next bit that we're going to do is try this conditional formatting. Now, this is interesting because based on certain conditions, you could start creating a format for a certain amount of cells or data points in a table or a column. So let's actually try this out. Let's say we want to highlight the dairy products that have been sold. So let's assume these are certain dates on which some dairy products have been sold in certain regions and the amount for which it is sold based on a certain outlet. Let's say we want to highlight dairy products which are sold on a particular date within, let's say, this month, and the data is, let's say, less than 500 bucks, right? So there are 3 points. We want to look at less than 500. We want to look at only dairy products. There are, produce, and there's grain also that is getting sold. And we want to look at this month, and we want to highlight those cells only, right? So let's first select the amount and try and see if we can highlight whatever is less than 500. Now, manually, we can do that any which ways, but let's say we want to do it in terms of in one shot. So you can highlight cells which are less than, there are a lot of data points here. We'll over a period of time try and look at all these, but to begin with, let's understand the concept of conditional formatting. Highlight cells that are less than 500, and you can highlight with a certain text which is predefined. You can also do a custom format, but let's for now start with what they are giving. So these are all the cells which are kind of less than 500, right? Now we need to highlight only the dairy produce. So I go back, highlight cell rules, a text that contains dairy, right? So basically I can highlight specific cells where text that contains dairy, and I can highlight that with dark red text once again. Let's say I do that, and so all the dairy produce comes in. And now I want data only in this month. So I select this and I say I will highlight cell rules on the account of a date occurring Where all? So essentially this week, last week, this month, last month, etc. I'll put this month, right? I'll put this month all the dates that are available and I'll press OK. And I realize that in this particular month, there is no day on which there is a dairy produce sold for less than 500, right? Whenever dairy has been sold in this month, in fact, in this month, dairy hasn't been sold at all, right? I can do a control Z, try and go and look at this in terms of a date occurring, uh, next month, right? Now, this is based on data that is available and, where we are, it'll do that data. And obviously we can't look at it in future, but it allows this functionality saying, let's say these are targets that you have to achieve based on months. And now you find that you have this particular cell where the target is, let's say, lower, this particular cell where the target is, let's say, lower, because you find three reds in this, right? You could also choose different formats, different colors, for example. So you could do this in terms of a date occurring, and you could do, let's say, next month, and you could do, let's say, green fill, and you could do that. So wherever you have the highlighting in all three columns in a particular row, then you point that out. So it allows you to format and present data in a format which is extremely useful. Now, what if I want to remove this, right? So I can select this, I can click on conditional formatting, and I can go right down here and say manage rules. Let's say I want to change the rule a little bit. So I will manage this rule. It opens the first rule. It says cell value is less than this. I can edit the rule. Let's say now I want to change this cell value to less than 1000. So I put in 1000 there and I apply and I press OK. So a lot more values also start coming in, right? Similarly, let's say I want to make some changes in this. So I select this data set, go to conditional formatting, manage rules, and I see date occurring next month, last month, this week, tomorrow, yesterday, whatever. So we can basically put in last month instead of this month and press apply, and we find there's only one data point which is available for last month. And that doesn't really confirm with what we are looking at in the context of dairy sales less than 1000 bucks or less than 500 bucks, right? So essentially, that's what our conditional formatting allows us to do. There are a lot of other things that could be done with conditional formatting, but a lot of that is to do with more data representation, which will follow in the subsequent videos that will come to you. For now, this is how you use conditional formatting. There are lots of options here. You could try a lot of things here in terms of understanding data. You could, for example, select this entire set. Let's try out a few more things. Let's say now we want to find out the top few sales. So I can clear the rules from the selected cells, right? So that goes off. I want to find the top dairy sales, for example. I can do a top bottom rules. I can highlight the top 10 items. I can highlight the top 10%. I can highlight everything that is above average. So I highlight everything that is above average and I put it with green fill with dark green text and I find this data here. All this is above the average that we're looking at, right? So automatically in terms of data representation, Excel allows you a whole host of important data points that could come to you using this conditional formatting, pre-designed formats that are available, and you could format it based on certain conditions that are available in the data. So this is the importance of conditional formatting. More data on conditional formatting is primarily used in terms of data representation. We'll come to that as we go along.